All right, ladies and gentlemen, so The Last of Us Day is now officially done. And I know a lot of you guys were hoping for at least some kind of update for factions. Luckily, we did get an update from Naughty Dog. However, we did not get a gameplay reveal. They didn't talk about a release date, none of that nature. It's pretty much going in line with what I've said before in terms of my little theory. Again, it's not really fact. It's a little theory that I have going around about this game and, of course, factions. And I really do see this happening at this point in time. But again, only time will tell. This thing can launch probably next year and I'd be completely shocked. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this, man. Obviously, The Last of Us faction is something that everybody's been looking forward to, especially after the success of the first game and how wildly, well received the multiplayer was for when it, dropped. Now, obviously, Last of Us Part 2, again, this right here has just been on everybody's mind after beating the story, and we never got an update until today, or till yesterday, sorry. Now, let's go ahead and get into what they said. Now, obviously, here's the actual, the full link will be in the description below if you guys want to read the full letter. But really, they didn't really say much else in terms of the first half of this instead of just, instead of what you wanted to hear. Basically, what they told us in the first half of this letter is that they heard our cries. They definitely know that we want to see the game. They know we're looking forward to this, and they definitely want to make this right, basically is what they said. And so what their plan is for The Last of Us, multiplayer, factions, they're trying to make this their most ambitious project that they've done in a long time. In fact, they're actually hiring for more developers in terms of like the multiplayer areas for the actual games. They're looking to legit make this the most ambitious thing they've done yet. Now, I know a lot of you going, but Ryan, what is this theory you've been having? Well, if you followed the RGT podcast, you listen to me on a regular, sometimes when I say this, I stated before multiple times that I see this being either bundled with The Last of Us 2 when it comes to being a director's cut. I mean, let's face it, guys, we're not going to see the end of director's cuts. I can definitely see Last of Us 2 director's cut being made maybe next year when this is officially done, and this will be packaged with Last of Us 2 and they'll resell that to you. Also, keep in mind as well, we have the Last of Us 1 remake. Last of Us 1 remake will also have this multiplayer, and I know a lot of you guys are wondering, but that doesn't make sense. Well, keep in mind, this is why it's a remake. Last of Us 1 remake will be just like Last of Us 2 in terms of the actual combat and the overall mechanics, and what they'll do is they'll tag along the multiplayer from part 2 into both and basically do what Naughty Dog did with Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy, where you have the multiplayer between both copies. So basically, you don't have to own Uncharted 4 to get into the multiplayer. You can just get, Lost Legacy. That's essentially the same game plan I see Naughty Dog going for with the Last of Us 1 remake versus Last of Us 2 director's cut. So for those of you that love the first one like me, right, you can get Last of Us 1 remake, you can jump into the multiplayer, and you have that whole experience. And then, of course, if you want to go back and play the game again for The Last of Us Part 2, director's cut, you have that bundled in, and that will be the ultimate offer. So that just makes sense to me personally. Of course, I know a lot of you were going, but what about this game being its own standalone thing? I did hear about that too, and more likely, again, that still could definitely happen, but I'm talking about as a bundle deal. Let's face it, we see this a lot now with Sony, with bundle deals, and that's why I kind of see that falling in line with that, especially with the way Naughty Dog's been working and how secretive they've been. They haven't really said much else for The Last of Us, and it just falls right in line with the plans in terms of the future and what they could possibly do with that game and, of course, the multiplayer. So again, no update for it in terms of when it's going to release or whatnot, but we know what's happening. They know we want it. They know what they must do to make this game great. The only thing I don't want, if I was to throw just a little thing out there, I don't know about you guys, the DLC weapons were cool. I thought they were cool for the most part, aside from one weapon, which is the crossbow, which added that whole bleeding effect. I kind of don't want to see stuff like that in the game, to be honest with you guys. I would like to just see, them just flesh it out, proper gun balance, of course, better maps. I do expect that. Probably the prone mechanics that you have in The Last of Us 2 with, going through the grass and all that. I can see all that for sure. And of course, just, a better flow in terms of the overall game. You do that, and this multiplayer will definitely be a love letter. But that's about it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button. It really does help the channel. I do appreciate it. Of course, subscribe if you are new and turn on that bell icon for all notifications so you won't miss content. Until next time, it's your boy Ryan. I am most certainly out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out of here.